this bartender down at the Opus Club. Man, he loads and drinks up, man, and he gets drunk.
He's a loser. He's a loser, that guy. I don't like him.
So if I get a separate, the little mom is like this, we go separate on the accident. Yeah, I guess we're splitting it, and that's what split her, and then separate screens. And that way, you know, when, for instance,
Fifteen abandoned
I
vehicles.
think it will take to be right up under here like in the courtroom.
I do sit here, but there's no.
I say that.
My kids on the devices.
Like, oh, no. You like, I like to look.
Just looking at
Did
something.
you guys take care
Mental health.
of the dad?
That's me.
It's the alcohol, right?
Take care of the dad?
It's the Tanqueray.
Your husband's dad?
John heard that. I'm used to John not being able to hear. Oh, the other John. You're in trouble.
Oh, okay.
One too many. Where's that? This one?
John's running a little late. Go ahead.
Okay.
Please on and please rise for the pledge.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, please keep all police officers safe and out of harm's way. Please keep all firefighters safe. We lift up the sailors, soldiers, airmen, Marines, and guards into your loving care. Protect our nation from that is evil. Guide our way through these difficult times. Lord, hear our prayers. Amen.
All right. Begin our meeting with roll call. Mr. Resnick?
Here.
Mr. Vaughn?
Here.
Chair is here. Ms. Borelli?
Here.
Mr. Gorman?
Here.
Mr. Cannon?
Present.
Mr. Swan?
Here.
Mr. Fagioli?
Here.
All right, let the record show everyone is present. First up is citizens' participation. Okay, come on up, give us your name and address, and you'll have 3 minutes.
My name is Harry Green. I live at 58 North Penn Street here in Brooklyn Heights. I said to Tom McKenzie yesterday, I'm here to find a resolution for handicap parking. I've had a spot in front of my house for a better 15 years. I have a neighbor who just rented the house next door who feels that he's entitled to park over the blue lines. Cars are bigger today, the lines accommodate regular sized cars. Back then, if you have a van, your bumper to bumper over the lines. My car is a 2002 Chevy Equinox, has gotten hit 5 times already from them backing into my car or pulling up into my bumper. I asked if I could have, when they, at the maintenance building, I asked them if they were painting lines this year, and they said yes, in 2 weeks. The roller, can you give me a little more room because my car keeps getting hit? Don't worry, we'll take care of it. I have the authority to do that, is what I was told by the gentleman down there. He paints the line, they go over the line, way over the line. Because he got involved in it, came to a compromise to move the line up, so it's accommodating that I can get in and out of my car, out of this spot. This gentleman consistently parks over the blue line, now he's parking on the old black line. He hit my car, the police officers were out. He couldn't fit into the spot, he backed in, he hit a rental car that was behind him, and then the front of his car, when he pulled it in, he has a silver bumper, it's a Lincoln. It creased the whole side, the back of my bumper, I have a plate all over from the front. He refused to give his insurance information, he told the police officer that was there, that he got his name and that was it. Sergeant, I can't pronounce his last name, the sergeant. I say McCollum, but it's not that. McCollum. He came out and he had a confrontation with him. And he said, give him a ticket to the other officer. He said, why would he give him a ticket? He said, give him a ticket. He gave him a ticket. He took the ticket and threw it away. I said, he hit my car. The police officers left. I went out later that night to take a picture of my bumper. I got nothing but harassment. I was called all kinds of racial slurs. I'm privileged, I'm this, I'm that, the whole neighborhood is, the borough has to work to paint lines, he needs documentation that they are allowed to paint lines on the street, he needs documentation of my disability because this is BS, and he's not adhering to it. Now I'm getting basketballs on the party wall, I just left and the music's up real loud, he still continuously parks on the line. I was told that I could print out pictures by the secretary, bring them in so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, is what he's been doing. I try to be nice to him and say to him, you know what, we have to work this out. Doesn't want to hear it, doesn't want to hear anything. That is his place that he rents, and he's entitled to park right there. How do I go forward in resolving this?
It's time. Let's do this.
I spoke to you the other day on the phone. I thought we had a good conversation. You have an issue that you're believing, and I'm not saying it's wrong, that he's on your line, but everything that we have from everyone, the chief and I have spoken to this extensively. I know he's talking to the council people. He's not obstructing for you to get in and out of there. Even though he's on the line, or he's torquing you, whatever, it's a neighbor dispute. The borough can't get involved with that, but it's not a violation if he's on the line. It's a violation if he gets in your spot where you cannot physically, as a handicapped person, get into the spot. But anytime we've looked at it, anytime I've been riding through there, or Chief's been looking at it from the police side, you can jump in, Chief, but it's not obstructed any time I've seen it.
The last call that you made to the police was, I believe, Saturday, or no, I'm sorry, Monday. And I have the body cam footage from the officer's body cam, and he was literally about 3 inches over the line. My guys aren't going to write a ticket for that. There was no cars in front of you. You had perfect access to that spot. If he's in your spot and you can't use your spot, that's one thing. But if he's over the line by a couple of inches, we're not going to get involved. Okay, it's a matter of inches.
Okay, can I say one other thing real quick? I just spoke to the ADA today, and they're saying exactly the opposite of what they're saying to me. They're telling me that they said that if he is on the line and not behind the line, he's in violation of the law.
We'll tell the
And it's not
ADA,
a civil
excuse
matter
me,
between me
have
and
the
him.
ADA come down and tell him to enforce it.
Well,
Do you
it's-
think?
they told me it's not a civil matter between me and him. It's a civil matter between me and the borough.
I'd like to have the assistant attorney, we'll have the solicitor speak to him.
I can't hear what you're saying.
I would like to have his name. You can give it to me after the meeting, and we'll have the solicitor speak to the assistant.
Okay,
Just-
that's fine.
All right.
That's fine. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Anyone else? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes for the May 21st, 2024 council meeting.
I'll make that motion.
All right, Mr. Fagioli made a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cannon seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have the reports of the borough officers. First up is the financial advisors report.
Thank you, Madam President. You have all received the reports prior to the meeting. I do have to make one correction. We had to add 2 additional checks on today. One for the police software company and one for our solicitor.
Any questions for the financial advisor? All right, I'll entertain a motion to accept the financial advisor's report and pay the bills.
So moved.
All right, Mr. Gorman made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Braun seconded. We'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Resnick?
Yes.
Mr. Braun?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Mr. Gorman?
Yes.
Mr. Cannon?
Yes.
Mr. Swan?
Yes.
Mr. Fagioli?
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Next up, the police chief's report.
I have nothing further to report other than my written report to council, except that we are in line to begin the police interviews in the July caucus if council so wishes. The background checks will be done, and we'll present 5 candidates for the positions.
Any questions for the police chief?
Are any of the part-time officers applying for that?
Yes, we only have 1 part-time officer now.
And he's
Yes, he is on that list.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, I'll entertain a motion to accept the police chief's report.
I'll make the motion to accept the police chief's report.
Ms. Borelli made the motion. Do I have a second? Mr. Resnick seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Next up is the fire chief's report. Any questions for the fire chief? All right. I'll entertain a motion to accept the fire chief's report.
So moved.
All right, Mr. Gorman made the motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Fagioli seconds. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Next up is the engineer's report.
Thank you, Madam President. A few things to bring to council's attention. Today, we held the road program bid opening. We received 2 bids, and I recommend that the contract is awarded to AF Damon for the base bid of $141,997. On the back of the engineer's report, you'll see the spreadsheet. And I do believe that the action is under the manager's report. On the passive park, we expect the contractor to start the first week of August. And lastly, PICO has scheduled to do the electric relocation work in front of the fire department the week of July 11th. The PennDOT resurfacing and ADA upgrades is just a repeat from last month, just to keep it in front of you until we have a resolution on that.
JP, what was the, I don't have it in front of me, what was the allocation for liquid fuels?
Yeah, about 70 or 80.
$36,000 maybe somewhere. I just want to get capital, the balance is coming out of capital, our capital program.
Yeah, I mean, generally, the road programs are financed through liquid fuels, county aid, and general funds.
Any questions for the engineer? I'll entertain a motion to accept the engineer's report.
So moved.
Mr. Berman made the motion.
Second.
Mr. Cannon seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carried. Next up is the solicitor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. During these last 2 weeks, I guess a lot of our efforts have been concentrated on the middle school project. We continue to get closer. I keep reporting that, we're
almost there at the goal line, and I feel like we go halfway, and then another halfway. But I think we'll get there. We have, I think, completed the land development agreement, the financial security agreement, whereby the school district places in escrow an amount of money that would guarantee the completion of the public improvements being things like sidewalks, curbs, storm sewers, sanitary sewer connections, and the like. And we've worked out the escrow and also the payment of fees for professionals. And then also the stormwater management best practices agreement, I believe, is completed. So I think perhaps with just a couple of wordsmith fine tuning, those three agreements are done. I imagine the council will report a little bit more on the PennDOT and the discussions that you've had. So that's tracking in the good direction. So once again, from our standpoint, they are just about up to the point to execute the plan, sign the plans that would be recorded with Delaware County Officer Recorder of Deeds, and then they would be able to move into the construction permit process. So that's where we are from that standpoint. I know Mr. McCosy's got a couple of issues that we've worked on, and I'm happy to participate during his discussion, but that's all I have for now.
Any questions for our solicitor? All right, seeing none, I will entertain a motion to accept the solicitor's report.
I will so move.
All right, Mr. Resnick made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Gorman seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Next up is community development and code enforcement.
Thank you, Madam President. The only addition to my prepared report is on the emergency management side of things. Obviously, we're all aware that we're in the throes of the heat wave. Carroll Hall is open during business hours as a cooling center for any residents who wishes to take advantage of the air conditioning. That'll be open during business hours. And we're asking that residents please keep an eye out on your older neighbors and any pets left outdoors. Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Gould? All right, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to accept the community development and code enforcement.
I'll make that motion.
All right, Mr. Fagioli made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Braun seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Next up is the manager's report.
Thank you. I'm going to leave the accolades to the elected officials for Suzanne's report, but the next level down on Friday after our Thursday night meeting, the municipal officials that are with PennDOT got in touch with myself, spent the afternoon going back and forth on what that intersection would look like if, in fact, the left lane was removed from engineering standpoint. We are in touch with the director, that gentleman named Paul Lutz, that actually is the guy who makes the decision on the highway occupancy permit to be issued. In those discussions, we had to recognize that we are aware that that could lead to backups on Oak Avenue. He's keenly aware of Delaware County and knows that probably any intersection in Delaware County is a backup. He's also keenly aware it takes me like 20 minutes to get home from here to Westbrook Park. So recognizing that and understanding that, he wanted to make sure that we were fully aware in the council. I spoke with the president council and the mayor, John McLean, later on in the conversation, that we were going to accept that as a product, that that's what's going to happen if we remove the left-hand lane and provide that narrower street for parking. We accepted that. We also accepted that as a borough, that in the future, that if something would happen there where we were residents complain or there's an issue, that we have to put that request to have that back, that we would borne the cost of having that back for painting the lines. PennDOT was real clear that they are assuring that the current traffic controller that would go there, like the light was there, will remain there, so that the borough would not incur any cost for replacing a new controller, meaning that the left-hand signal will be in the box, the electronics, but will not be turned on, and there will be a light for left-hand turn up top, just for a future cost if we ever had to do it. I don't see us having to do it. They're acknowledging that it does not increase or decrease the level of service for that intersection as a safety issue. It's strictly a backing up. And I'm telling you the truth, in the conversations I've had, and I talked to the chief, I was talking to John, it's probably better at backs up. They'll stay out on Ballmer Pike hopefully and make a left to go up to Springfield or wherever they're going. So that being said, John has worked on a letter myself, and we're going to issue a letter out to PennDOT, which will include that in the highway occupancy permit. They're going to be a little bit more redesigning to put it back to where it has to be. And they will issue out what they call a temporary, it's a TCO, a temporary conditional occupancy to the school district so that they will be able to proceed for the project to be able to borrow the money, that they're not going to rescind anything in the future. It's kind of a temporary thing until all the plans come together. But they do this all the time to be able to issue out for being able to get a project started without holding off on the final drawing. So they're satisfied with that. We signed off on it about 4:00 Friday afternoon. We're going to send the letter probably tomorrow. And that issue, thank God, is behind us. So that was that. Next one up is to discuss the rise permit orders to address large projects. Solicitor's been working on that. We've had several conversations. How do you want to handle that, John? Just table it?
Yeah, I mean, this is, and really it's what it's targeted at is what will be the permit fees for the building permits for the middle school project. I really quite honestly wanted to work out the escrow fees for the public improvements first, and then sort of how that fall would then impact what I would recommend in terms of the building permit fees. So.
Okay. Next is we've been working on our financing. As you know, TD Bank went out. We're looking at probably around 14 accounts that we have with TD. It's going to automatically roll in the Fulton Bank. We are talked to Cindy and John McLean. We're going to be putting out an RFQ for banking services. We had a very good deal with TD Bank that we weren't paying fees. Public, I'm sorry. TD Republic. These guys banks keep changing, and we want to try to get his best offer we have. We write a lot of checks here. There's a lot of fees that can be associated with that, so we want to make sure we get the best deal. But in the meantime, the way that structure went, Fulton Bank took over Republic, and we're going to be forced to sign up the 14 accounts. So we want to reintegrate our signers on those accounts, and then Pliget. I'm going to let John talk about Pliget and what that is and what we need to do for signers for that.
Well, Pliget is an acronym for Pennsylvania Local Government Investment Trust. It is a trust fund, not a bank, so to speak, but it is a trust fund that is created by the Pennsylvania Boroughs Association, the first-class townships, second-class townships, the municipal league, and pretty much all municipalities in Pennsylvania participate in it one way or another. The borough has participated. We do have accounts with Pliget. Pliget is not a bank in terms of, like, we wouldn't be able to do what we do with Republic or now Fulton Bank with Pliget in terms of doing payroll and regular day-to-day checks. But Pliget, because it is created by public entities, for the benefit of public entities, you don't have that profit motive involved. So generally speaking, you can get better interest rates. If we want to invest any of our money, we can get better rates, on the investment. So with, quite honestly, as Republic went through its closure and has moved to Fulton, we took a look with the financial advisor and Ricosi to say, can we have a better financial strategy in terms of, just how we manage our money really month to month. So the recommendation is that we do move a large amount of money, from what is now Fulton Bank to Pliget. And it also is associated with council has done a very good job managing with the budgets, and we've accumulated a good, healthy fund balance. So, with the interest rates the way they are right now, it's probably best to move the bulk of those funds over to Pliget funds, where we would be able to draw on those anytime that we needed them, and then move in with Fulton to see, as Tom mentioned, do a request for qualifications for banking entities. Republic Bank had a reputation of being very good bank for municipalities. It was basically low or no fees. Things like issuing a lot of checks per month, the lockbox for the taxes. There's a lot of transactions that take place for a municipality, and they had, like I said, low or no fees. Fulton Bank doesn't have that same exact reputation. They're still viewed as a very good bank, but we need to begin to watch to make sure that their fees, are not something that eat into, what we're looking to do. So for sort of the day-to-day banking, we'd like to do an RFQ through the process of the rest of the year and move funds out into the Pennsylvania Local Government Investment Trust instruments. And with that, we'll, in months to come, we haven't gotten it yet. I think we were kind of hoping that we would get it from Pliget by today to take some action just to authorize, new signers, new resolution for Fulton Bank. Again, I think Fulton's in the process of catching up and, going out to all their customers and, sort of updating the paperwork, for lack of a better term. So that's what, that's from the financial management standpoint. That's what we were looking at.
The next would be, as you know, we looked at number 2, South Springfield Road, which is the corner property. We had a committee of council put together. We had Bob Lynn in last month in the last caucus meeting discussing the potential, what we're going to do there. We asked Bob to send us a proposal. That proposal is in front of you at $12,600. And that's for the design of the whole new structure in the back, redoing the back, construction documents, bidding. In addition to that, well, I'll wait. The next one's JP Kelly. So that we need that approved by council for $12,600. Includes the design documentation for the building, site, location, 1,200 hours for presentation phase for building, and the bidding phase, 1,500, construction phase, 2,500. I spoke to JP. In my experience, that's reasonable fees for what we're asking them to do. We'll end up with a nice project there. And the next one up would be JP Kelly. But first, I'd like to get to 12,600.
I'll make the motion.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion. Mr. Resnick made the motion to approve contract from Lynn Architects for design and documentation for work. Is it 2 West Baltimore or is it 2 Springfield Road?
2 West Baltimore.
2 West Baltimore Avenue for a fixed fee of $12,600, including design and documentation for building. So Mr. Resnick made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cannon seconded. We'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Resnick?
Yes.
Mr. Braun?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Mr. Gorman?
Yes.
Mr. Cannon?
Yes.
Mr. Swan?
Yes.
Mr. Fagioli?
Yes.
All right, motion carries.
The next item is for JP Kelly, our engineer. JP is going to work on it as a regular hourly rate. So there's no consult to solicitors, no need for a contract for JP, but this is for him to authorize to work on the project.
I would so move for that.
All right, so Mr. Resnick is making a motion to authorize JP Kelly Engineers and Surveyors for engineering services at 2 West Baltimore Avenue at the regular rate. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, Mr. Swan seconded. Do we need to do a roll call for this? Or?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll do a roll call for this. Mr. Resnick?
Yes.
Mr. Braun?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Mr. Gorman?
Yes.
Mr. Cannon?
Yes.
Mr. Swan?
Yes.
Mr. Fagioli?
Yes.
All right, motion carries.
Next up, thank you. Next up is the Exclamation Park mobile parking fees. I spoke to solicitor and the chief. We're going to use our existing parking ordinance fees, which are pretty antiquated, but to get the program started, some of them are 25 cents for 8 hours, some of them are 25 cents for an hour. But primarily what we're going to begin to do is the parking lots, Walnut Street, Glenwood Avenue, we get them up online and get the program started through Park Mobile because we have a contract. This will begin the whole signage process and the education process to the residents, and we can move into it slow. We're also going to be looking into some parking meter boxes because you're still going to have the ability to put coins in or a credit card or call them on the phone. So we're looking into those devices now. It's just an update. We don't have to do anything with new ordinances. It's just keeping council up to speed what's happening. Next up is the bid award that you heard from J.P. Kelly on the amount of
It's right on the engineer's report, 141,997.
to AF Damon, right?
Correct.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion to award the road program contract to AF Damon for the base bid of $141,997.
So moved.
All right, Mr. Cannon made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Fagioli seconded it. We'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Resnick?
Yes.
Mr. Braun?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Ms. Pirelli?
Yes.
Mr. Gorman?
Yes.
Mr. Cannon?
Yes.
Mr. Swan?
Yes.
Mr. Fagioli?
Yes.
All right, motion carries.
Next up, just an announcement, the 4th of July parade, the flyers will be going out. We are having difficulty with the United States Post Office. The most recent meeting went out 14 days before it was delivered. So post office isn't doing well with us. So our postcards are going out probably tomorrow and the next day for the 4th of July to the residents. And in that, it'll have a parade route change due to the construction of the school. By then, potentially, we'll have fencing up around there. And basically, it's going to take the route from the Church Street and go down Baltimore Pike to Marple, down Marple right into Cap's parking lot. And that'll be the parade route. Still begins at 10 o'clock. And then on July 6th, the fireworks will begin at dusk from the field and they'll only be available aerial. There won't be any participants on the field because the field will be, by that time, potentially under construction. This all occurred because originally we did not have the ability to get a permit last July 4th. The school district didn't know what was happening with the field. We were able to, late March, I think, or somewhere around there, be able to talk to the school district and be able to come up with an alternative. We all believed it was council, definitely behind in the mayor, that, and a lot of residents that, Clifton's one of the oldest fireworks in the county, and to not have them would have been a travesty. So we're looking forward to at least doing the best we can to give a good show. And I know Ed's right on top of it, so we'll give it a report later. And the only other thing, Cindy and I will be working on the budget, so if council has any specific capital projects that they're looking for in their wards or minor projects, please get them to me by July 15th so we can try to get included in the budget. Oh, thank you.
Any questions for the matter? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to accept the manager's report.
So moved.
Mr. Gorman made a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Resnick seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Next, we have council reports. Mr. Swan? Okay. Mr. Resnick?
Nothing.
Mr. Fagioli?
Yeah, I just noticed that the summer help was out, blowing the streets down with this sweep cleaner. And they were doing a nice job, We got through all Clifton.
All right.
That's it.
Thank you.
And have a good 4th of July.
All right. Mr. Cannon?
Nothing.
Okay. Mr. Braun?
I have nothing.
Ms. Pirelli?
I don't have anything for that.
All right. No, I just want to thank Senator Kearney's office, especially Sarah and Heather Boyd's office for their partnership in helping us work with PennDOT to eliminate that left-hand turning lane for Oak Avenue. So that's going to allow some of the parking preservation that we are hoping for. So want to thank them for their efforts and support in that endeavor. And that's really what we've been working on for the most part the last couple of weeks. So that's all I have. Mr. Gorman?
Nothing.
Okay. All right. Mr. Mayor?
Thank you, Madam President. Want to start off with a proclamation of celebrating Juneteenth, which is actually tomorrow. Whereas President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation on January the 1st, 1863, declaring that the slaves in the Confederatory territories free. paving the way for the passing of the 13th Amendment, which formally abolished slavery in the United States of America. And whereas word about the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation was delayed some 2.5 years to June the 19th, 1865, in reaching authorities and African Americans in the South and Southwest United States. As whereas the date of June 19th has become symbolic as a date on the journey of African Americans to realize a promise made in the Declaration of Independence that all men are created equal and that all shall enjoy the rights of liberty. And whereas Clifton Heights strives to celebrate the rich diversity of its residents, which continually strengthen our community. Now, therefore, I, Mark J. Campbell, Mayor of the Borough of Clifton Heights, County of Delaware, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, do hereby declare June 19, 2024 as Juneteenth in the Borough of Clifton Heights and urge all citizens to become aware of the significance of this celebration in African American history and the heritage of our nation and borough. In witness thereof, I have hereinto set my hands and caused the seal of the Borough of Clifton Heights to be affixed this 18th day of June, 2024. Just a couple more things. So, just for interest, this Thursday, the 20th, is the first day of summer. Like we didn't know that already because it's so hot out there. The parade will start at 7:00 a.m. on July the 4th. July the 6th, Saturday, fireworks.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. I wrote 10 a.m. down. I wrote 10 a.m.
You can be there at 7.
Get there early because we're going to be there at 6. 10:00 a.m. I'm glad you guys corrected me. July the 6th, Saturday, fireworks start at dusk. And there will be another e-cycle and shredding July the 27th from 9 to 12 right here at Borough. So we'll bring that date up again. That's all I have for my report. Thank you.
All right, any old business before the body? Any new business?
Ed, you want to tell everyone you changed the time for the parade? No. This is your chance to tell.
All right, and then we have public participation. Any member of the audience who'd like to come up and comment on items discussed in the meeting today?
Michael Humphreys, 35 Arch Street, Clifton Heights. I'm going to play devil's advocate here. 14 days or 15 days from the fireworks display. If that fence isn't up, do we have alternate plans to keep the people away from the fireworks?
Absolutely.
Because that's a big field. You have to have alternate plans. Just something that's put in the back of your mind, the school district's going to get that fence up.
The chief and I are fully prepared to make sure that the area is safe.
That's all. All right, thank you.
Jane, I had the 214 North Sycamore, just want to add staging area for the July 4th parade starts at 9:30. So we'll make that so we get there late, so we get the stage. Gonna go from Bowling Pike back to almost Springfield Road, stage and back. Do have 3 bands, 2 in here, looking for 1 more. So I'm just going to plan it out. So be there early, have your ground and all that, be in the parade, get a trophy at the end, direct bikes, floats, and all that good stuff. We have good ones, so hopefully you'll enjoy it. I'll see you on July 4th. All right?
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else? All right, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second it.
All right,
What was the second one? Mr. Desi, for closing?
John Gordon.
For the public participation. Yeah, these, I mean, I don't care.